Hey guys, and welcome to another Baby Name Monday. I know what you're thinking, it has come around so fast every single week, doesn't it? I'm SJ, I do baby name videos here on YouTube every single Monday, and I also run Instagram account Baby Name Envy, so do head on over there after you've watched this video. This week I am doing some really unique and unusual baby names that also have really beautiful meanings, because I'm such a sucker for a baby name meaning. It's the first thing I look at once I like a name. I have to know what it means. So I'm going to share with you my top ones for girls and my top ones for boys. As always, do join in and let me know in the comments below your favourite baby name with a gorgeous, maybe unexpected meaning, and I will be pinning my favourite one to the top of the comments ahead of next week's Baby Name Monday. So my first choice is the baby girl name Blythe. I've always absolutely adored the name Blythe. I think it sounds absolutely gorgeous. It sounds kind of like Hollywood retro. Actually, Gwyneth Paltrow's daughter Apple, one of her middle names is Blythe. She is Apple Blythe Allison, after Gwyneth's mother. Blythe actually means carefree, and I just think it is so beautiful. It's from an old English word which also meant merry or cheerful. So it's just to do with kind of being that very free-spirited person, and who wouldn't want to bestow that on their little daughter? I say daughter, but it is a very gender-neutral name, and some boys are also called Blythe. It's only at number 1,635 in terms of usage here in the UK in 2016, which is the latest records that we have. So it's not a uber popular one. So if you're looking for a really unique name, it's a fantastic one. You may have heard of it from the Noel Coward play Blythe Spirit, which was a huge play. It went on to Broadway. There was a movie. I remember definitely we read it at school, and it's a funny comedy ghost story, if that's such a genre. So it's quite a unique play as well, and a lovely one to be named after. He actually got the name Blythe Spirit from a poet called Shelley, and his poem To the Skylark, and the line "Hail to thee, Blythe Spirit." So it's a really cute name. I've always loved it. What do you think of Blythe? And do you think it works better for a girl or a boy, or you think it is really gender neutral? Next up is another kind of vintage literary name, and one I also love, which is the name Evangeline. Do you like the name Evangeline? Eva is so popular, Evie, all of those names, and Evangeline is such a beautiful long version that we should maybe start thinking about using that instead of just the short nicknames. I think it is gorgeous, and it means good tidings or bringer of good news. And you know, when your baby arrives, it's just the best news in the world, and you want to shout it from the rooftops, and I just love this name meaning so much. It was a literary name and became very popular after a poem by a poet called Longfellow, where Evangeline was after her lover Gabriel, and it was a very long and tragic poem. She eventually finds Gabriel on his deathbed, you know, that kind of star-crossed lovers story, and that saw the name get really popular back in the day, and it's due a bit of a revival, I think. I think it is so gorgeous, and the name meaning is just perfect. It's at number 335, so it's not super unusual, but that still means only a handful of babies were called that. Would you go for Evangeline? At number 782 is a name which has a very fierce meaning for girls. It means power, strength and vigour, and that's something that is amazing. But the name kind of surprised me that it was meant this, which is Brigid. Brigid is an Irish name originally. It's so famous because of Bridget Jones, and I've always loved her name in the movies and in the book. I love how they call her Bridge. I just think it is so cute. Brigid is the patron saint of Ireland, and she's also the patron saint of poets and scholars and healers. So all of that just makes the name so wonderful with all these lovely associations. It was so popular in the early 20th century. It's actually declining a little bit in terms of popularity, so for after something very unique in the playground for your little girl, Brigid could be a great one. We might see a bit of a boom because of Brigid in Trolls. I really love that movie. I must have seen it a million times with the kids. I'm not crazy, but I do listen to the soundtrack by myself. But it is such a good name. What do you think of Brigid? At number 1,635 is a gorgeous name, Dorothea. I've got so much love for the name Dorothea. It's actually my niece's middle name, so of course I would absolutely love it. But I love the meaning because it means gift. And isn't a baby just a wonderful gift? It kind of means gift from God, but the idea of your baby being a gift, my favourite song to sing to Freddie at bedtime is a John Denver song, The Gift You Are, and I'll link it below because the lyrics are so beautiful, and I sang it to him every night since he was a baby, and it's now his song. So I really love the meaning of this name. I also love the nicknames you could go with. Obviously Dottie, we call Summer, my niece Summer, Dottie Rose. Thea is a really popular name at the moment, and the long name Dorothea has got so many options for her as she grows up. For boys, one of my real guilty pleasure names is the name Rasmus. It is quite popular in Scandinavia. My husband's Swedish, so we did hear it when we were over there, and I just thought how adorable. It is so cheeky and cute. It actually means beloved, so that just made me fall in love with it even more. Rasmus is the shortened form of Erasmus, who is a saint, so it's got that lovely saint virtue background to it as well. Saint Erasmus is also the saint of sailors, and so if you love sailors, I mean, imagine being called Rasmus Sailor. That would be quite cool, I think. But I really love it. I think it is such a quirky, cool hipster name with this wonderful, gentle meaning. What do you reckon of Rasmus? And it's only at number 4,810 in terms of popularity, so I'm giving you a little bit of a gem there, I think. Another little gem and gorgeous, quite pretty boy name is the name Ellis. Isn't Ellis just so nice? Elliot is very popular at the moment, and Ellis is a slightly more quirky version of it, I think. It's at number 89 in terms of usage at the moment, but it means kind. And who doesn't want that for their little child? Little boys are so kind and adorable, aren't they? If you're blessed with a little son like I am, I have two, and I just absolutely, they melt my heart with their gentleness every single day. And I love the meaning kind. This name kind of picked up as a first name around the 17th century. It was a very traditional Welsh surname, so it kind of started there and then has spread around. And Ellis Bell was actually the pen name of Emily Bronte. So I've got loads of little literary things going on here, don't I, this week, but how gorgeous is that? At number 268 for boys in terms of ranking at the moment is a name which means defender of men, which is such a strong and powerful name for a son. And I think particularly in 2018 and onwards, we're really looking for those helpers and those supporters of other people in mankind. We're all about the people power, aren't we, at the moment? And that name is Xander. So Xander, of course, is a short form of Alexander. It became really popular there as a character in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, if you remember that show from years ago. Vampire names always sound a bit bad boy. It's very edgy. It's got the X at the beginning, which is super cool, I think. And so if you're looking for something that is very strong and has an equally strong and powerful meaning, then Xander could be an absolutely lovely one for you. And lastly for boys, a gorgeous Hebrew name, Asha. Asha actually means happy, and how nice is that? It dates back to the Old Testament, where Asha was actually the 8th son of Jacob, and he was promised a life full of abundance and good fortune and happiness. So your little Asha could be a great choice if you love names like Ezra and all of those. This is another Hebrew one that should be top of your list. So I hope you love those names and meanings as much as I do. Do hit subscribe to follow along for Baby Name Mondays. As I said, there's a new video every single week. If you love this, you might know a friend who is pregnant and looking to name a baby or struggling. Do make sure you share it with them. I would love to grow our little baby name gang over here on my channel. Next week, it will be my A to Z of unique and unusual baby boy names, a follow-up to my girl name video I did a few weeks ago. Lots of you were after the boy version, so I'm really excited about some of the names I have on there. So yes, do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to follow along. I would love to know the names that you love with gorgeous meanings. I read all of the comments, and I think loads of us do, for loads of inspiration. And I will see you all next Monday. Bye guys!